Hello and welcome to another video from Truckers World. Just to apologise first of all for the video. The sun is beating down on me at the minute. I've had to park in this location, so I've got no option. I've not put any filters on, but with any luck it might hide my lines on my forehead, so there you go. Right, today's video is more of an experience kind of related video, okay? And it's all about not rushing when you're HGV driving, okay? The lessons that you can learn, and I'm going to relay my experiences of when I've rushed and potential things that's happened to me when that's happened, okay? What I don't want it to be, obviously, I don't want you to miss the teacher, have to suck eggs, I don't want you to think it's some kind of driving safety course. It's not. It's just my experiences, and my advice really to new drivers especially is not to rush when you're HGV driving. Okay, so let's get to it. First of all, obviously, when you're rushing, you might be tempted sometimes to not strap up your load. You might have something light. You might only have one pallet on. So I've done that once, and I had a pallet on with collars around it. So if you don't know what collars are, they're like plastic fold-out collars, and they just stack on one on top of the other. Quite lightweight, and they hold obviously light things. This was almost like a pallet of dog bed, not too high, not too heavy, and I thought it'd be okay. I wasn't going too far. Anyway, on one of the roads I was on, a van driver pulled out. Now this road was on a slight incline, and I was forced to brake a little bit. Okay, not massively, braked a little bit. Then he pulled in, literally 50 yards down the road. Not the best manoeuvre, and I was then in a bit of a rush, bit of frustration, kind of put my foot down a little bit, and suddenly I just heard this knock at the back, and when I stopped, not too far away, the pallet had gone backwards. Simple as that. All the dog beds had come out, and it caused me a bit of extra work building up the pallet and putting all the stuff back in again. So that didn't do me any favours, and of course, it made me more late. Okay, simple as that. Another job where it wasn't properly strapped up. Maybe I should have done more there, but even so, when I was doing my flooring job, delivering wood flooring, so pallets of flooring, carpets, this one concerned flooring, and what happened was there was two pallets stocked on top of each other. Now normally they are very heavy, and how many times have we been to our loads and we think, oh, that's not going to move, is it? No chance of that moving. This is a good thing to respect your load, whether it's light or heavy. So, as I've been driving around, I was on a salary-based job, and it was job and knock. So you know that, when you finish, you're done. So you're more you've got that incentive to rush around a little bit more. And again, it was getting late. I was rushing around a bit, been delayed a little while on previous deliveries. Got to this drop where I was supposed to deliver these pallets, but because I've been cornering a little bit too fast, the pole pallet had gone over, the top one. Wood flooring was everywhere. Needless to say, I managed to clear up a lot of it. Took a bit of time. Luckily, there wasn't too much damage because this was a box van, as was the previous pallet that was in a box van as well. It could have been a lot worse, let's just say that. But when I think about how I was driving, I wasn't driving majorly fast. It wasn't like I was literally flooring it round and twisting around every corner. It wasn't like that. But I was rushing. So even that slight increase in rushing and turning the wheel and weaving in and out, it made a difference. It did. Another occasion when I was rushing a little bit, and again, underestimating, the load, basically. Delivering copper steel on an extended curtain sider, class 2. These are all on class 2, by the way. And it was ratchet strapped down heavily, and I thought that's going nowhere. Certainly not side to side. However, the bars were in between wood plats, and obviously that gave way potentially for the bars to push underneath, forward and backwards, if you know what I mean, squeeze forward and backwards. And I was driving up Kendal, I think it was, wasn't going particularly fast, rushing a little bit maybe. I braked a little hard. Next thing you know, heard a little bit of a knock. You don't hear that much in the cab. That's what worries you. You hear a bit of a knock and that's it. And then you open up and a couple of bars, a good few bars had pushed forward out of the actual slots. Luckily, they weren't damaged because these copper bars are worth a lot of money. But again, it could have caused problems. Had I got there, and the recipient, obviously examining the goods, may have rejected them. you know, it can cause you problems when you're rushing. So my advice obviously is, you know, no matter what you are doing, unless you're in an emergency, you know, obviously, then just don't rush. You know, if you're not happy, by all means have it out with transport manager after, but don't rush, because it's just really dangerous. You know, when things go over in your van, you're then responsible. It's as simple as that. Also as well, not too long ago this, when I was rushing, got back to the yard, very big yard we're in, huge. I'm thinking, oh, I need a bay, can't find that bay. A lot of bays are full this time of year. One of the shunters, class 1 shunters, was waiting. He was detached from his trailer a little bit, but he was stagnant. He wasn't moving. So I thought, well, I'll quickly go around the back. But then he suddenly started moving. Now, normally, I should have waited. There's no doubt about it. I would have waited normally, just waited to see what he was doing. I think really, given literally 2 more seconds, I would have thought, yeah, his bounds are he's gonna be reversing into that trailer and clucking up. Needless to say, I got a few horns at me for that, and I totally accepted it. I was weaving in and out, rushing, and it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. And that brings me finally on to, as far as rushing out on the road, is it's not the same as when you're in a car. And you know this, you know, but I just want to make it clear for new drivers, really, because as new drivers, they might not respect so much of what we've grown, more experienced drivers have actually grown to accept. You know, you can weave in and out with cars, that's fine. With lorries, you can't do it so easily. You really can't. And how many times, I say how many times, a good few times really, in the past, where I've been rushing on the motorway a little bit, you get a bit confident, you know you can switch lanes now a little bit better, that's great, and then suddenly something will happen and you're braking and your heart's in your mouth. It really is. You know, you've got to be careful, because on these things you can do a lot of damage. Class 2, Class 1s, without a doubt. So it's definitely not worth rushing round. Also, when you're on the A roads, these little minor roads, you know, when you're going in between parked cars and traffic on your right, you know, you really have to slow right down. It's so tempting to think, yeah, I'll fit through there, go on, get through there. Just don't, just don't, you know. Country roads as well, got to be careful of them. You know, left-hand side mirrors, we've all done it. I think we've all done it at some point. Smash the back, plastic parts. You know, it's happened to me, rushing a little bit, taking things for granted. You know, it's easily done. So there it is, really. Finally, the last thing when you're rushing, this is the final thing. We've all done it as well. We've left our tacho card in. We've got everything out. You know, rushing around, we've left the tacho in. It happens. So there, the moral of the story is, whenever you drive in your wagon, you know, just learn to take your time, learn to be patient, and just go with that. No matter what your day is going to be like, you know, you've just got to see that day through, and then you can obviously have it out with your manager or whatever you want to do, by all means. But for that part of the day, just slow down and you'll be fine. Just respect your load and respect your wagon. Simple as that. Right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Any more subscribers would be very welcome. Thank you very much. Hopefully I'm going to get one last video before I go away next week. So thank you for watching. Stay safe and keep on trucking. Thank you.